Imagine, tomorrow morning, you wake up, walk to the bathroom, look into the mirror, and above your head, there's a glowing number, 73. You rub your eyes. It's still there. You check your phone. No messages. No explanation. No warning. Just 73. Then you step outside. Your neighbor has one too. 91. The mailman. 84. A little girl walking to school. 99. Suddenly, every person on Earth has a number floating above their head. No one knows what it means. At first, people guess. Maybe it's IQ. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's how long we'll live. Social media explodes with theories. Scientists can't explain it. Governments can't remove it. Religious leaders call it a sign. For one entire day, humanity has only one question. What does the number mean? Then, at exactly 2:17 p.m., the truth is discovered. It isn't your intelligence. It isn't your wealth. It isn't your happiness. The number measures something far more valuable, your reputation, not how you see yourself, not how your friends pretend to see you, but how the world truly sees you. In a single moment, celebrities watch their numbers collapse. Unknown teachers suddenly become more respected than billionaires. Best friends stop talking. Companies begin firing employees. People refuse to board airplanes flown by pilots with low scores. Banks hesitate to approve loans. Parents start looking at their own children differently because, for the first time in history, trust has become visible. And by sunset, humanity would learn something terrifying. Your reputation was never under your control as much as you believed. But before we discover why, we need to answer a much deeper question. Why do humans care so much about what other people think? Because the answer is older than civilization itself. Here's the strange part. Those numbers didn't create anything new. They only revealed something that had always been there. Think about your own life. Before trusting a doctor, you care about their reputation. Before eating at a restaurant, you read reviews. Before applying for a job, the company checks your reputation. Even when meeting someone for the first time, your brain asks a silent question. Can I trust this person? Without realizing it, almost every important decision you make depends on reputation, not facts, not appearances. Reputation. And here's what's fascinating. Most of us spend years trying to build one without ever seeing it. You hope people think you're kind. You hope they think you're honest, reliable, hardworking, but you never truly know. You only see the version of yourself that exists inside your own mind. Now imagine waking up and discovering that everyone else sees something completely different. The person who thought they were respected has a score of 18. The quiet janitor has 99. The famous celebrity, only 27. Suddenly, the most valuable thing on earth isn't money, it's trust. And that raises an uncomfortable question. If reputation has always controlled our lives, why did the human brain evolve to care so deeply about what other people think? Because the answer goes back hundreds of thousands of years. But here's something even stranger. Why does a number above your head feel so important? After all, it's just a number. It can't physically hurt you. It can't take away your memories. It can't change who you are. So why does seeing a low score feel almost painful? Because your brain doesn't see reputation as an opinion. It sees it as survival. Scientists have discovered something remarkable. When people feel rejected, ignored, or publicly embarrassed, the brain activates many of the same regions involved in physical pain. Think about that. Your brain reacts to social rejection almost as if you've been injured. That's why criticism can stay with you for years. Why? One humiliating moment can replay in your mind thousands of times. And why? A few kind words can completely change someone's day. Reputation isn't just something you have. It's something your brain is constantly protecting. Every smile, every apology, every promise you keep, every promise you break, your mind is quietly asking one question: will these people still accept me? Because deep inside, your brain doesn't fear looking bad. It fears being left alone, and to understand why, we have to travel back, long before cities, long before money, to a time when your reputation could decide whether you lived or died. Now imagine you weren't born into today's world. No cities, no hospitals, no police, no supermarkets, just a small tribe. 40,000 years ago. Back then, you couldn't survive alone. Every hunt depended on teamwork. Every meal depended on trust. Every night, someone had to watch for predators while everyone else slept. But here's the problem. How do you decide who you can trust? You can't read minds. You can't search their history. You can't look them up online. So your brain created something far more powerful. Reputation. The hunter who always shared food earned trust. The one who stole lost it. The person who kept promises was welcomed. The one who betrayed the tribe risked being cast out. And in those days, being rejected by your tribe was often a death sentence. No protection, no food, no fire, no future. That's why your ancestors evolved to care so deeply about what other people thought of them. Not because they wanted popularity, because they needed survival. And even though the world has changed, your brain hasn't. Deep inside, it still treats reputation like life itself, which explains something strange. Why? A single number floating above your head could change the entire world overnight. By the second day, people stopped introducing themselves. They introduced their numbers. Job interviews became painfully short. A candidate with years of experience was rejected. Another with almost no experience was hired, not because of their arson, but because the glowing 96 above their head spoke louder than any words ever could. Banks approved loans in seconds, or refused them without explanation. Dating apps disappeared overnight. There was no point. One glance, and you already knew how much the world trusted someone. Schools changed too. The most popular students weren't always the highest scored. Some of the quietest children were suddenly surrounded by friends, while others, who had spent years pretending to be kind, watched their numbers slowly expose them. Then came the biggest surprise. The richest man in the city had a score of 34. An old school janitor, who almost nobody noticed, had 99. For years, people had admired success. Now, they admired character. And for the first time, humanity realized something uncomfortable. A reputation isn't built by what you say about yourself. It's built by what your actions quietly teach everyone else. Then, exactly 24 hours later, the numbers disappeared. No countdown, no warning, just gone. People looked around in disbelief. For the first time all day, no one knew who to trust anymore. And strangely, many people felt relieved, not because they wanted to hide, but because they realized something frightening. A single number could never capture an entire human being. Some people spent the whole day chasing a higher score, instead of becoming a better person. Others finally understood that reputation isn't something you ask for. It's something you quietly earn every single day. The truth is, you already have a reputation. You just can't see it. It's built by the promises you keep, the way you treat people when no one is watching, and the choices you make when there's nothing to gain. Maybe it's a good thing that no number floats above our heads, because if it did, we might spend our lives chasing the score, instead of becoming the kind of person who never needed one.